Former State Department official Morgan Ortagus is with us. Is Germany absolutely reliable, Morgan?
Well, if you listen to what the new German chancellor said yesterday, he did not pledge to shut down Nord Stream 2 if Russia invades. And that's really the whole crux of the conversation, Stu. Also yesterday, Ukrainian President Zelensky was supposed to meet with the German foreign minister. He reportedly canceled that meeting because they would also, again, not say that Nord Stream 2 would be shut down. By the way, it's not just that they're not saying it publicly. They actually committed last year an agreement with the United States when we gave them, the Biden administration gave them the waiver for the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. They said that if the energy pipeline was politicized, that they would shut it down. So they've agreed to this in writing with us when they got the waiver from the Biden administration. Yet publicly, they won't say what they're willing to do.
It seems to me that President Biden threw away our energy independence, and that was a gift to the Russians, which they are now exploiting over Ukraine. I'm not going to say it's President Biden's fault, but it's President Biden's weakness and his bad decisions which have led to this, right?
Yeah, President Trump heavily sanctioned the Nord Stream 2 pipeline. This was very simple to us, that you couldn't make Ukraine more vulnerable, that you couldn't make Europe energy dependent on Russia. And so, you know, surprise, surprise, the Trump administration was actually incredibly tough on Russia and their energy supply. The Biden administration in every theater, but especially dealing with Russia, has been weak on this front. And listen, I've said this before on your show. The Biden administration continues to confuse strengthening NATO relationships with appeasing Germany. They think whatever makes Germany happy is good for NATO, is good for U.S. Europe. And that's just fundamentally not the case, as we see day after day in this escalation over Ukraine.
Earlier this morning, former President Trump told our own Maria Bartiromo on this network, Iran will have nuclear weapons within 7 months. That seems rather dramatic. What do you make of it?
I mean, I think it's certainly possible. Listen, the one thing that President Trump said when I worked for him is that Iran would never have a nuclear weapon on his watch. He made sure that that didn't happen. He pursued the maximum economic pressure campaign against the regime in Iran. And by the way, how did we get to Abraham Accords and Middle East peace? Because President Trump put in 4 years of policies where he said we're going to be, listen to this is a shocker, Stu, we're going to be tough on our enemies and we're going to reward our friends. Somehow that was revolutionary thinking in D.C. establishment foreign policy circles.
Oh, dearie me. You're running for Congress in Tennessee, a congressional seat in Tennessee, I believe. I believe you got President Trump's endorsement. What would you bring to Congress?
I did. Well, yeah, as you said, I am the only Trump-endorsed candidate in this race. I'm thrilled to have him. Listen, I think that I represent a lot of people around the country. I'm a woman. I'm a mother. I worked my tail off in the Trump administration to represent him around the world in America First foreign policy. And I think what the Congress needs right now, the Republicans have to take the majority back. We have to secure the border. And we need more pro-life conservative moms like me. The border is incredibly important. Our national security is incredibly important. And you know what? Everyday Tennesseans, Stu, are hurting. You report on this all the time. They're hurting because they go to the grocery store and they have to make decisions about filling up their grocery cart or filling up their gas tank. That's not right. It shouldn't happen in America, and I'm going to stop it in Congress. All
right. Stop it in Congress. Right. Morgan Ortagus, thank you very much for being here, Morgan. We'll see you again real soon. Promise. Thanks.
Thank you, sir.